What is going on YouTube? Hidden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at DueDEX as well as the current coin market cap. Specifically in today's episode, I want to continue discussing the very interesting patterns happening within cryptos. We're starting to see some interesting moves that are different from other cryptocurrencies. They're not normally in sync as they used to be. So we're seeing Litecoin actually get rejected from its resistance, from its moving averages from this downtrend, as well as we're seeing Bitcoin start to consolidate a little bit lower. So I do want to discuss that as well, as there are only 2 days and 13 hours left within Bitcoin's weekly chart. We then look at Ethereum, which is pumping off extremely high, which is great, don't get me wrong, but I do want to discuss all the alternatives to the way these cryptos are moving. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Remember to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can DM me over there. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Alright, so before I jump into the video, just really quickly guys, we are still doing the Crypto TV DueDEX $200 Bitcoin giveaway. Completely free to enter. Make sure to sign up to 7 ways to get an entry into the giveaway. The link is in the description down below. We have over 400 people so far in the giveaway, so you got to be in it to win it. I highly recommend doing it. It is literally that simple. Make sure to also sign up right here by visiting this page to DueDEX, because in order to receive the $200 if you win, you will have to have a DueDEX account. Otherwise, moving on to the rest of the video. So yesterday's video, we discussed that, XRP Ripple and Bitcoin are actually starting to form what appears to be some sort of bullish move. And I was honestly trying to figure out whether or not we were going to be shooting higher. Definitely in yesterday's video, I was slightly more bullish than I have been in a very long time. And I want to continue discussing why, because as probably most of you know, I've been bearish for easily the past 2 months. And honestly, I may or may not be switching my mind in today's video. So top 10 cryptocurrencies, you can see most of the cryptos aren't really doing much. It's only Ethereum that's really blasting off. The other cryptos are actually down, surprisingly, compared to the other altcoins. And this is something that I do want to discuss with you guys in a second. So moving on to, I would start with Ethereum. So Ethereum has been trading fairly bearish for quite a long time now, fairly bearish. You can see the only problem that relies within Ethereum is the fact that it is, this is the weekly candle. We have a little bit under 3 days left, 2 days and 13 hours, and we've managed to, pull all the way up to retesting what appears to be its moving average, as well as nearing overbought on the weekly for Ethereum. This is not necessarily a good thing. I'm actually very surprised to see that Ethereum is actually trending all the way up to its moving average, all the way up to its resistances here. I mean, we're not just there yet, but it's definitely pretty high up for a coin that I'm anticipating to start to break bearish in any minute now, actually. I'm very surprised that we managed to break outside of this resistance. I mean, you can see the clear uptrend and a resistance, and it did break bullish through that point there, which could have been a fairly easy way to make money on. It's as simple as literally getting ready, setting up either what appears to be a buy long or sell short marker, and then obviously if we broke above this resistance, clear as day, breaking above this resistance, buying in, I would say above 250, you'd be able to capitalize off this run. Now, all my trades are mentioned in my Patreon as well down below, so if you did miss out on runs like this or prior runs in the past, you could definitely make sure to check it out on my Patreon, because we do have very interesting buy-ins and sell shorts that we use DueDEX for, and it definitely is a great way to make some profit off of moves like this, because a lot of you guys might have been considering that this was fairly unpredictable or not anticipating movements like this, but it's actually not true. The main reason is because we've been tracking Ethereum for quite some time now, and it's been funneling inside of here. We've been waiting for it to close the gap. Now, yes, I was bearish and anticipating it to correct downwards, but that doesn't necessarily mean I lost money on the trade very easily, buying in above this resistance, expecting to see anything above this downtrend right here, capitalizing off a movement, setting in a long that would fill at 250, and then making money now is definitely an option too. Now, if you are still holding on to Ethereum, me personally, I would sell off at the top here, only because we are trading fairly overbought right now on the daily moving out or on the daily RSI. So I would take your profits right now, as we did break fairly high up in the markets. Now, moving on to the other cryptos, this is where things get interesting. You can see that the reason I'm still slightly bearish on the market is A, because there is this descending, wedge or channel forming right here. And you can see that we're slowly coming into here. And as we're doing so, we are getting rejected from this moving average and the prices are dropping. You can see the spinning top right here, usually the signal of a reversal for markets like this. And we are starting to tick downwards, and this isn't necessarily a good thing. So as we start to correct lower, you do have to take into consideration we're probably not going to stay at the top for that long, and that this correction may send us all the way down to $40, $41 on Litecoin. Moving on from that, we then start to look at Bitcoin, which really hasn't broken off that much at all. It hasn't gone up, it really hasn't gone down anything that would be considered impressive. Yes, Ethereum did make some very nice moves, but Bitcoin hasn't done it yet. And that's why I'm still fairly bearish on Bitcoin, specifically because it's got 3 days left, a little less than 3 days to decide what it wants to do with this weekly candle, as it's done every week prior. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks prior. So almost 3 months now, where we've literally been retesting this top resistance and have not been able to buckle through. Now, the only reason I would switch bullish is if this moving average crosses over on the weekly, then there's a fairly high chance we'll break out of here and shoot up higher. And I would obviously switch long. Now, obviously, it's closing this weekly candle because it's so difficult to track a bullish breakout on Bitcoin specifically. I would ultimately wait for the weekly candle to close, and it's going to be fairly difficult for it to close above here, but we haven't really seen it in the past. So with 2 days and 13 hours left, we really have to pay attention to to Bitcoin, and use DueDEX to kind of funnel our investments into there. So specifically what I mean by that is if we close this candle above this resistance in the next 2 days and 13 hours, and the next candle starts outside of the downtrend and we start moving up, then it would be a great time to start using DueDEX to funnel in the money. Notice even on DueDEX's chart, the website that we specifically trade on, no resistances have been broken yet. We have this top resistance, and we've literally been bouncing off the top over and over and over and over again, and nothing has broken above here. So it's merely just a waiting game to see whether or not in the next 3 days we break above here, and then obviously we'll be buying in long, or we reject it and at some point get ready to short, because I know it's been absolutely ridiculously long amount of time. But if we don't break this resistance and we start to see a correction downwards, it would finally be a time and an opportunity to short DueDEX on, or short Bitcoin on DueDEX's account, very simply by clicking the 10 times leverage or 5 times, whatever type of leverage you want to do, typing in the order price that you want, the amount in US dollars that you want here, and then clicking selling short, and it'd be that simple. Honestly, it's made a great amount of money, and I highly recommend you sign up for DueDEX. It also is a way for you guys to make a free $200 of Bitcoin. But moving on to the other cryptos, XRP is also starting to fall short. It is also starting to curve downwards, which is interesting if you ask me, because I don't think it was, a lot of people were anticipating it to correct lower. We have a lot of XRP hodlers on the charts and on the channel here. And most of you guys are probably anticipating what could be a break to the upside. Now, there's no real definitive answer as to continuing to break bullish. I do know that the weekly looks great, though. The weekly, with us being outside of what appears to be our bottom support, bouncing off this bottom support is great. The fact that we are outside of this downtrend is also great. The fact that we're below the moving average is another great signal. And I do consider that this is most likely going to, what I think, correct up to the moving averages. Now, I'd be shocked. We are at a bottom here. We have to look at other coins like Zcash and Cardano. These have hit the bottom. They've hit the lowest point in their prices, and eventually they're going to start to pick up on some sort of volume and some sort of support at the bottom, which very well could be the 18 cents support, very similar to where we see it here. And with this could come some slow correction to the upside, which would be great all across the board. So I really do think that we could be long bullish on XRP. The fact that we haven't been, hitting a bottom in a long time, we didn't break outside of these supports. There's a very good chance that we did get held by support. We could be now starting what appears to be an uptrend. Now I know this is only 2 points of contact, but it very well could be a slow formation that swings us back up to this moving average now that we're below here on the weekly. So I'm honestly becoming fairly bullish on XRP. We may not have to short it, but Bitcoin, I'm starting to still feel slightly bearish in regards to short term. So definitely consider that when you are trading. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. Definitely make sure to participate in the giveaway. Link is in the description down below, as well as follow me on YouTube at... make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, and leave a giant thumbs up, as well as what I meant to say. Follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can DM me over there. Otherwise, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.